oke. Hello, hello. Hello. Hey, what up? Good morning. Oh, top of the morning. What the hell? Ah. Hey, how is everyone doing? How's your week so far? It's already Thursday, man. I did some traveling earlier this week, and it was just like 2 days in KL, Kuala Lumpur. Now I'm back and just doing some work. Don't have anything planned until like I don't know, end of next week or something. So should be able to get a lot of work done. Oh, it's Thursday already. Yeah. Okay. Breaking news this morning, which is very interesting. We'll go over it, I think, in this stream, since it's kind of just a free talk, whatever. It looks like the low carb crusader has been charged by the DOJ, Department of Justice. I have an article here, and I also have the main what do they call it, indictment? Yeah, I don't know. Not a lawyer, so just want to read through, kind of understand from I guess legal perspective. I saw that they had a section about MEV relays, builders, and searchers. So let's see what's their understanding of it. Yeah. Quite spoiler alert, quite disappointing that one of the charges includes money laundering, which is interesting. So I don't know if without the money laundering stuff, would it have been fine? Yeah. I want to check the definition of money laundering as well. Like, what do they define as money laundering? Is it like just sending the proceeds to Tornado Cash or something? Yeah. And another thing is, I do wonder, were they reported? I don't know, because here it says United States, right? If it was someone who... No, okay, never mind. I was just thinking, like, was it like the victims who, tattled? I don't want to use the word tattled lightly, but, tattled to the Department of Justice that they got MEV'd while they're doing MEV. Yeah, so that's an interesting thought. It doesn't have to be, right? I don't think there needs to be someone reporting the crime. Like, if it just falls under the radar of the Department of Justice or whatever, public prosecutor, they can just prosecute as well, right? Because it's still a crime. Yeah. And it was a high profile case when it happened. So that's from my understanding in terms of US law or whatever, or law in general, I guess. Don't quote me on that. Okay. Let's see. Why don't we read this one first? I guess it's a good summary. I'll make it big. So, okay. I'm not sure if I want to read everything. I think we'll just skim through it. Yeah. You can skim through on your end as well. It was $25 million. Wow. Okay, they were brothers though, which is quite interesting. This is a thought that I had before. I believe, if you recall Euler, the Euler hack, the hackers had a falling out, right? And I guess to prevent that, you would, let's say, only work with people that you really trust, and that includes your immediate family, right? Or anyone blood related, right? Because that's like, I don't want to say that is the highest level of connection you can have to someone, but I guess incentives are more aligned in that sense, right? I had a thought about this, maybe wanted to like teach my immediate family members what I do. That there are a few people who are computer science students, but yeah, it's up to them. I don't mind as well. Like, it's not that easy anyway to get in, so it might not be for everyone as well. Okay. Okay, so wire fraud would be the unbundling charges. So these hackers, I believe they exploited something in the MEV boost protocol, whereby if they give invalid data, they still get information about the block, but there's a delay that allows them to resubmit the thing. With the added information, and then they just unbundled everyone's bundle. And mostly sandwichers got wrecked, because sandwichers have a start and an end. Like, you buy and then you sell, and then the victim is in the middle. And what they did is that they unbundle it. They put in the start, which is the buy, and then the middle was their sell or whatever, and then the end failed, or they removed the end probably, or they added their own. Mostly, like, I think high profile sandwiches got right, because the amount being used to do the sandwiches was crazy, right? Up to the millions. The sandwich, like, what, I don't know, a few cents or something. That's the game right now, though, with sandwiches. Okay. Okay, I think this is good summary, but probably we want some technicals, right? So let's move to the paper itself. I'll make it big down. Okay. Studied mathematics and computer science in a prestigious university. Okay, fraudulently obtained 25 million in the exploit. The first of its kind. Okay. So here's one thing. Gain access to pending private transactions. That's correct, right? Because the way MEV Boost works is you don't know the contents of the block. You only know how much the block submitter doesn't know. They only know the value, I think, or the amount to be bribed. I'm not an ETH searcher anyway, but yeah, that's from my understanding. So the definition here is pending private transactions. Yeah, which is correct, I think. So people like sandwichers who are using the public mempool, they should be fine, right? Okay, took numerous steps to hide their ill-gotten gains. That's very interesting. They rejected requests to return the stuff. Okay, this also wouldn't have everyone been happy. Okay, I don't know if things would have been different, but if they took a bounty, like a 10% bounty, they would have been, well off as well. But they returned nothing, right? That's very interesting, because if you look at the recent phishing, the $70 million phishing attack, right? Using address poisoning, they returned 100%, right? Maybe that's because there's a clear victim and hacker, victim and perpetrator. But this one, probably the brothers thought that because this is MEV, this is fair game. They would be, they will get away with it, but looks like they aren't. Yeah. So the victims probably like told the Department of Justice. They even did some communication, right? I believe that the name Low Carb Crusader was given by them, and they told Flashbots to use that name. Very, very interesting. Okay. Wow, planned over several months. That's so interesting. Oh wow, that's crazy. They even went like they did like all they laid all the groundwork, which includes setting up shell companies and using private crypto addresses. Okay. Wow. How you Google how to carry out the exploit. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, the technical details, I guess. Wow. So they really plan to take everything, I think. Yeah. From what I see here, they plan to take everything. It wasn't like, yeah, let's just do it. And then, oh, wow, it's 25 million. This is a very concerted effort to do this. That's crazy. Okay, so this is the part about crypto. I think it's fine. I can confirm to you that the DOJ knows how crypto works. Just probably some technical details like MEV and stuff. So we'll go through that. Okay. Okay, sure. So that was about validators, which is fine. Okay, so this is the section about MEV. Okay. Oh, I'm curious to know if they mention any of the victims as well. Because from my understanding, you need like the DOJ needs to interview the victims to ascertain the accuracy that they have been victimized. Yeah. Or they are victims. Yeah. Okay, searcher. Wow. Arbitrage opportunities. That's interesting. They specifically put arbitrage here, but there's multiple forms, right? I guess it's the easiest form to explain. Like I can just say, buy cheap, sell high from two different markets. Yeah, that's what arbitrage is. If you want to explain like liquidations, borrowing and lending, or like staking or rebalancing, those are a bit difficult, right? Okay, whoa. This is interesting. They say arbitrage here, but then it goes on to describe a sandwich. Like after identifying a profitable opportunity, increase in price of given cryptocurrency, the searcher sends to build a proposed bundle of transactions. The bundle typically consists of the following transactions in a precise order. The searcher's front run. So that's not arbitrage anymore, right? If it's a front run, then it's a sandwich. The searcher's sell transaction. This is a sandwich. Yeah. Okay. Some lacking in the description here. Okay, yeah. So this is the part that I was saying, right? The relay only submits the block header, which contains the payment information, only after the validator makes his commitment through a digital signature that the relay releases the full content. Yeah, okay. Oh, by the way, it's also crazy how they were caught when they deliberately set up everything to do this. Yeah. Okay, so this is just about the relay. Okay, tampering with these established MEV boost protocols. Okay, tampering. That's interesting. It is an unintended operation, right? Or unintended outcome, which was fixed after the exploit. That tampering isn't tampering with the protocol. Okay, I guess when you think of tampering, the first thing that comes to mind is like open source modification, right? Okay, several months. Establishing a series of Ethereum validators. Concealed through use of shell companies. Wow. Bait transactions. Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go. Pine Needle Inc., the shell company. Wow. Oh, okay. Crazy. Man, your fucking Google searches, man. They know. What the fuck? I mean, yeah, that's obvious, right? But you don't think about that when you Google stuff. Like, as some of the smartest people in the industry Googles stuff like that. I don't know if this is Google though. Maybe they use like DuckDuckGo or whatever. Holy, 529 ETH to create 16 Ethereum validators. This is crazy. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this is mostly on the technical side of how they executed it, which is fine. Okay, here you go. Victim traders, victim trader 1, 2, and 3 that they've identified. So, I think, I'm not sure if Flashbot's postmortem article had or identified these bait transactions. I don't know how they figure out anyway. Like, do they just give money in the do they just give money in the bait transactions? Like, you set up the bait and then you just let them sandwich that bait, and then at least you know who are the ones that are vulnerable, right? Because the only thing different from your bait transaction and your real exploit is the unbundling. Yeah. Okay. Eight transactions to propose 8 bundles. Okay. Okay, sure. we're halfway through. I think so far it's okay. Just the lacking. They don't use the word sandwich at all here in this document. Okay, sure, this is fine. This is the actual technicalities of how they executed it, which we are aware. Should be fine. Oh, look at that. Safe deposit box. Large enough to fit a laptop. What the hell? Censored IP addresses for access logs. Holy. What the fuck? How long is the US statute of limitations? It's statute, right? That's crazy. So sick here means that this is an intentional typo in the quote. Statute of limitations, right? Statute of limitations. That's interesting. What the hell? I wonder if they Googled this before or after they got the suspicion that they're going to be caught. Quote unquote caught, right? Okay, this one is interesting. The post-exploit laundering. What the hell? Nine steps. Privately held address. Second layer exploit address. What does that mean? L2? I think it's just the second hop or the first hop. Approximately 20 million die. Permitting. Oh wow, they used the borrowing and lending. Another smart contract. Swap 20 million DAI for USDC. Oh wow, 20 million to the exchange account. Okay. Another shell company. Brokerage account. What the hell? Computer Fraud Abuse Act. Extradite to foreign country. What the hell? What? This is crazy. Okay. Hypothetical, right? I mean, these guys are... I think these guys are moving too fast. I don't know. Like... Okay, just a hypothetical, right? If I were to be... Not that I can, because I'm just the noob. Okay. But if I were able to do this exploit, you know, I would just... I think someone suggested this somewhere too. It's like just deposit to Avi or whatever. And get the proceeds or get the APR or APY and then live off that, right? You don't need to try and take out like 20 million or some shit. That's what I would do anyway, you know? So I guess I don't have like material wants that warrant like millions in cash. But yeah. Okay. Crazy. Wire fraud. Conspiracy to commit money laundering. Forfeiture. Okay. JP Morgan Chase account. What the hell? Okay. Choice Bank. What the hell? Okay. Attorney. Wow. Okay. Crazy. Okay. Damn, dude. I don't know, man. This is some crazy stuff. Yeah. Very deliberate action. I mean, sure, the exploit does require deliberate action, but I didn't know they were planning to. They did all the shell accounts and stuff. They were trying to withdraw too fast, probably. Of course, they won't say what caught them. The people won't say what was the how or the methods that they got all this information, right? I've asked this question before, like, what's like the I don't know how to ask the question. It's like the greatest of hackers in crypto, right? How often do they get caught? Yeah, because you see like a lot of hacks happen, but only high profile cases you are aware of. But I don't know what about the lower profile cases, and what is like the minimum benchmark to pass that. Yeah, that's very interesting because these guys, they did like everything in their power, like shell companies, obfuscating the transactions or the source of funds and all that, and they still got caught. That's one of the questions that come to my mind, like what are the one or two things that get you caught, or at least open up the trail to what everything they're doing here. This is a lot of stuff that they set up, apart from the actual exploit. What was required in the exploit? Yeah. Okay, crazy. Any questions on this? I don't know, man. This was okay. In terms of MEV liability, I don't think it's bad. This, from what I read, this is definitely like a black swan or an outlier. Like if you're doing MEV, you're doing like you set up a company and you're doing like things for a long time, and you don't Google stuff like how to money launder, what is the statute of limitations. If you're doing MEV normally, you wouldn't be like Googling all that, right? This is pretty much an exploit. Everything that they've done is basically a hacker who just so happens to exploit MEV searchers instead of regular crypto users. So with that, I do think that MEV is still fine. Don't take it from me though, but yeah, as long as you use like public transactions, it's fine. They did specify that private transactions were leaked here. They kind of outlined how that worked, so I think it's fine. Again, however, yeah, this is the question about PvP, right? MEV versus MEV, because there are very well-known examples of well-known people in the crypto industry who made a living off of exploiting unsecured code, right? And a very common argument was that the person who got exploited, they understood the risk and they deemed that it was worth the profit that they get from deploying an unsecured smart contract. That was the argument. So that is probably an issue now. With this is probably an issue because in the same way that a person who deploys an unsecured contract did not intend for certain, I guess, it is implied that they do not intend to lose their funds. Yeah. MEV Boost did not intend to get, have bundles being leaked like that. Yeah. And the victims of the sandwichers, the victims of this exploit specifically, did not intend for themselves to get unbundled, right? They did not intend any of this, but here we are, and these two guys are charged. So PvP, searcher PvP is a bit iffy, and probably it's best that you just take a bounty off of that. You can return it, you can take a bounty off of that, whatever, I do remember a few examples of people who lost, or searchers that lost money to other searchers. One case I remember fondly was the exploiter rolled it as a pirate in the Flashpot Searcher Discord to give back the money, which is interesting. There were other I do remember more people who were like exploiting. There was one person who was like actively looking for contracts that were vulnerable. They were sending test transactions on chain, to determine whether a contract was vulnerable or not, which was very, very interesting. Yeah. Okay, that was interesting. So, in conclusion, no more searcher PvP. Yeah, that's it. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I think if you're worried about like someone's going to get you, then it's probably not good. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Well, that was interesting. Okay, I think we can move on to the next one. So if there are any questions, I was thinking about trying to work out, trying to make a talk basically. And the talk is like how to start with MEV. That's like the main like hard thing to think about, at least to go about in a good way. I might not be the best searcher outside, but that does mean that I'm closer to the bottom than I am from the top. So I might be able to give a few pointers for those just starting out. Yeah. So probably we can do that actually. I think we've covered this pretty well. Crazy. Yeah. Okay. I think my main takeaway is MEV is still fine. Yeah. But PvP, searcher PvP is not. That's what I see. Okay. Right. Okay. I wanted to do. So, there's going to be a talk coming. I was planning to do like how to start in MEV. So, but it's only limited to local attendees. So planning to do it on Penang and KL. Nothing solid yet, but why not we think about that here? I can like outline my thoughts here. There won't be any code examples, but we'll just go over. I just want to make bullet points. Yeah, I just want to start with bullet points, and then just make the whole talk. I have been thinking about it for some time, so it's best that I write it down so that I remember what I want to talk about. Yeah, because I keep forgetting the things that I should talk about, and they kind of go away from my mind sometimes. Like I forget. So okay. First is that, this is an interesting question that I thought about, right? Why would someone do a talk like this? Let me make this bigger, yeah. Why talk about how to start in MEV? This is an interesting question. Why? Because this is just like adding competition for yourself, right? So there's probably two reasons why you would do that. Number one is you're retiring from the game. This is akin to you saying that this is the same as, let's say, an alpha leaks. Then you're like, fuck this. If I can get it, nobody can get it. So you just leak the alpha, right? This, I'll put in commas. I'll put in brackets here. It's like an alpha leak. Okay, but another reason is that you think that there's still enough. There's enough MEV for everyone. Okay, yeah. These are the two things that two likely probable reasons why you would do a talk like this, how to start MEV. Now, obviously, not obviously, but for me, I think that there's still enough MEV for everyone, at least for those starting out in Malaysia. Why? Because the kinds of opportunities that Malaysians can get or are worth getting for Malaysians, most likely they're not worth getting for other people in first world countries, like US or EU or whatever, right? The problem is other third world countries are in the same position. So I wanted to like give back to my country. So this is one way of doing it. Also, another reason why I'm doing this is that, there have been a lot of stories where what the most successful people or people who had their lives changed all did so after like one course or one learning session. Like someone who made like millions in like online marketing or online selling, dropship or whatever, they were able to do that after like one course in like online marketing or something like that. So of course, 90% of people are going to fail when they try to do MEV. Not even 90%, I think like 98 or something. Yeah, if you look at the rate of people who go into the Flashbots Discord and people who submit the first bundle and also people who make a living, yeah, the rate is very low. But for the 2% that succeed, this can change their life as much as it changed my life personally, right? Because now I work for myself. I do everything on my own time, and this allowed me to like be very free, like go travel during like work days and stuff like that. So I skip a lot of the congestion on many occasions where I go out. So yeah. So this is mainly the reason why I'm doing this talk. And this kind of thinking, why would someone do a talk like this, how to start an MEV? It's a good introduction on game theory, right? So people will psyop you because it is in their best interest. So I think this is a good first point to start. Yeah. Okay. So this is good. Now I'm not sure where to start on the technical side, right? So a few things I can talk about is the smart contracts. How would it work? What smart contracts do you need? There's a few categories, right? So what I would think, usually how I would divide my smart contracts is there's like a data collection smart contract, a batch data collection, executor. So this smart contract executes stuff, and then a simulator. Whatever you want to try and simulate. I mean, you can combine some of these into like one contract, right? But the constraint is like code size. Yeah, deployed by code size. I think there's some limits, and so you might have to make different contracts that do external calls to kind of work around the limit. Yeah, code size limit. Okay. On top of this, there's like a few ways to do this, right? So batch data collection is like you can make your own custom contract. Another way is to use multi-call. I believe it's multi-call too. Yeah. So this is the difference. Yeah. Executor is fine. So I need to give examples right here. So I'll probably give code examples in the real thing, right? Yeah. So here I can show something like I use something new. It was Uniswap v2 universal callback. This is I think I can share this in the example as an example, right? So in your executor code, you would have things like this, Uniswap v2 universal callback is basically like there's a lot of forks of Uniswap v2, and sometimes they change the function signature that they expect to call on. They use as a callback. They like to rename it. For example, I don't know. Does Sushi do it? The send as Uniswap v2 callback, right? Sometimes they rename it like, oh wow, Sushi callback. I don't know. Sushi v2 callback, right? So this leads to a different function signature because it's a different name. So you can have like 10 forks in a particular network, and now you have to cater to like 10 or 7 different callback function signatures if they rename the callback name, right? And so to do that is to work around that is to use Uniswap v2 universal callback, which basically uses the fallback function to process the callback. Yeah, they just assume that okay, any calls to the fallback function is a Uniswap v2 callback, and so they can just process it call data. They can process the call data normally, The only issue here is you need to make sure that there's no conflict, right? I think, which is very, very rare, so it's fine. Okay. Okay, simulator. Simulator is very, very simple. I think a well-known example is token provenance, which is testing whether a token has an internal buy or sell tax. Yeah. I guess more advanced arbitrage bots, they cater to the different internal taxes, but some just ignore it, which is fine. Right? It's up to you. I think if you're doing things like on Ethereum mainnet or Polygon, yeah, you need to account for internal tax. But on other places, it's fine. It's like the lower down you go, the less worth it, some of these tokens are to kind of look at and arbitrage. Even if you're like looking for the bottom of the barrel opportunities, right? Yeah. Okay. So this is smart contract. One of the topics I wanted to cover. Another one is tech stack. Because I'll give an example for using my tech stack, but the important thing is that they need to understand what is needed to be able to do things effectively, right? So what you need is like I'll give you an example with my tech stack, right? I use Go as the bot language. So what I mean by bot language is excuse me. What I mean by the bot language is the language that is running on the server. Yeah. That does the monitoring stuff. I have Solidity. So this is a smart contract language. On top of Solidity, I use Hardhat to deploy stuff. I also use Hardhat Deploy, which is a plugin. Yeah, it's a Hardhat plugin that manages your deployments, especially if you have like one repository, one repo that deals with multiple chains. Then Hardhat Deploy is very useful because then they make a JSON file of they make a JSON. Not that they make a JSON file. They keep track of all your deployments in all of the different chains. Yeah, very interesting, very cool. So yeah, like they do some smart stuff as well. Like for example, if you have 3 contracts but you only change one, then when you deploy stuff, it knows which contracts were changed or not, and it knows which contracts depend on what contracts. Yeah. So for example, if one contract depends on a change contract, then you have to redeploy the contract that depended on that depends on another contract that depends on the change contract, right? Let's say if you save the contract in storage or whatever, and you don't have a way to kind of update that. Yeah, they help do that for you. Another plugin that I use is actually Hardhat Hardhat export. Okay, sorry. I said exploit. What the hell? Okay, that's interesting. Because we just went through the MEV exploit. Okay, Hardhat export. This one is also very simple. I think it takes your deployment files and then it outputs it in one JSON file. I think it's deployment.json, whatever. And this is just a key value pair. The key being the chain ID, and the value is all the information about your smart contract. I think it's by per name, per contract name. So if you have like 3 contracts on that chain, then it's gonna be a chain ID to like three JSON objects with the key being your contract name. Yeah. So what I do is that okay. Yeah, this is it. Another thing I use is actually a few scripts. For example, I don't know how. Okay, is it bindings? ABI bindings. Yeah, ABI bindings. Okay, you need ABI bindings, basically to be able to use smart contract functions in your bot programming language, right? So what do I do here? I use probably Hardhat ABI export. I think Hardhat does this by itself, right? They compile all the contracts and then they export all the ABIs into like JSON. And then what we can do is we can use Go Ethereum ABI gen. So ABI gen just takes all the ABIs and converts them into Go bindings. Yeah. Yeah, this just into Go bindings. Yeah. So this is how I'm able to kind of use my contracts in Go by using Go bindings. You don't have to do this. Basically, this kind of makes all the like packing and function signature stuff. I mean, creating the call data much more easily. Yeah. In other bot languages like TypeScript or whatever, I'm not sure how it's done. Yeah, but yeah, this is it. Okay. Okay, that's API bindings. Then I have Telegram. So this is like my smart notifications. Yeah. So Telegram bot, very easy. I think you just create a HTTP endpoint and then you just call like one function to kind of send a notification to you. Yeah. I also use this for liveliness. Is that what it's called? Liveliness? Basically checking if the bot is live. Right? Yeah. I might have pictures that I can share here. Yeah. What I can say is that, you know, since if you're doing this for yourself or maybe a small team, then you can make this very compact and make it so that, you know, it's very compact. And since it's only you or your team, then everyone knows how to read the data, right? It's not like you have to cater to public users, like it's just yourself. And so it can be, you can present the data in a complex way, but as long as you understand it, it's fine. Okay, that's the Telegram bot. Okay, I use Grafana. There's two parts of Grafana I use, which I really like. The first one is Grafana plus, or should I repeat Grafana? No, just InfluxDB plus Telegraph. Yeah. So InfluxDB and Telegraph both. Okay, Telegraph is system metrics, right? So it helps. It kind of puts all the system metrics like, you know, RAM usage, CPU usage, and pulls it into InfluxDB. You can also have custom InfluxDB. So I have an InfluxDB library, which I also send data about my bots. For example, my current balance. That's very simple, right? Send the current balance of your bot, so you know if you need to top up on gas or whatever, and also your, I guess, where you store your profits, so you know how much profit you've generated over time. Like you have a graph and stuff, you know. Okay, this one's cool. Another one that I have been really liking, and I think I shared this recently, which is Loki plus Promptail. Okay, before I go into this, let me add another into the stack. Okay, which is PM2. So PM2 is a process manager. So basically, once I have the executable for the bot, yeah, for the Go bot, I use PM2 to start it, and then I can monitor it using PM2. And PM2 actually has a logs. It's logs at home.pm2.logs, I think. Right? And then it's like name-output.log. This is your bot name. And so these logs are your standard output, right? Like things like printf or whatever. And so you can configure Promptail to check on this. Listen to PM2 logs. And what this does is that Promptail will send your logs to Loki, and Loki is running in the same server as Grafana, right? So Grafana InfluxDB is the database. Grafana and Loki is also the database. I mean, Loki and InfluxDB are the databases. Grafana is the what do you call it? The graph output, yeah, or the visualizer, yeah, the visualizer. Telegraph and Promptail are agents, right? So these are agents that are installed in each of your bot, in each of your bot servers, yeah. Okay, so what this allows you is in Grafana you can check your own logs. Like you don't have to like SSH to your server, you don't have to SFTP your logs or whatever, however it's done, right? You can even filter stuff, which is crazy. Yeah, in the talk I'll put some pictures of this. Yeah, it's crazy good. Yeah, this. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Okay. One thing that something crossed my mind when I was here. What was it? Loki, Promptail. Okay. Please use like standard libraries. For example, for logging, I like on Go, a very popular logging library is Zap. I wasn't using this for like a year plus. I was just using like, I even built my own logger or some shit, which is obviously very inefficient. So I would recommend if you need like anything, you look for readily available libraries. Yeah, I mean, if you're like good enough in programming or deving that you can create it yourself, then you shouldn't be listening to this talk, I guess. Okay, yeah. You use ready-made libraries in your language, yeah, whatever it is. Okay, is that everything in my stack? I think it is. What else do I use? I think this is it, yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is the tech stack. Yeah, just want to give an idea of how everything works, yeah. And the things that help you for your DevOps and stuff. I think obviously Git is one thing, yeah. Okay. SSH, I use Termius. This was recommended to me a while back. I really like it. There's a lot of features that I wish I had when I first started. Yeah, I was using like PuTTY and stuff. Okay. Cool. Tech stack. Okay. Now, another topic that I was thinking about is where to start. Then there's two things, and then this is alpha finding. Okay, I'm bad at this. Why? Because I rarely look for alpha. Usually I just do it, or like right now I already know what alpha I want to work on. Yeah, so, and I stop searching, I just work on it, because it takes quite a while. But right now I'm specializing in something, and so I don't really try to find alpha, but I can give a few ideas here. Okay, so let's look at alpha finding. I can't help much here, but it helps to read a lot of MEV stuff. Yeah, maybe I can give some links here. I know some searchers have shared a lot of stuff. But other than that, I'm not the kind of guy to know how much alpha is there or how many kinds of alpha is there. You just have to read it. Yeah, like for example, rebasing. I don't know anything about rebasing. I do have an example here though that I can share. Yeah, I will share an example. It's basically you can think of like protocols that have that are sunset or discontinued, and what they do is they allow you to redeem your token or their token for a set of assets. Now, if that token or if that value of the redemption exceeds the market value of the assets that you would get, then you can do some kind of arbitrage, right? And so this is interesting. This is like arbitrage plus redemption of a token, which is, I guess, a very common redemption, a very common alpha. I mean, a very common arbitrage, right? You would do this with like DAI or something using the redemption. Yeah, but this is I can give one example for basically a discontinued protocol. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, and then you can make some monitoring as well. For example, looking for function signatures in contracts that are newly interacted with. This is quite simple, right? You can go backwards from the latest block to the blocks before it. Just look for transactions and the to address, and or maybe even like internal calls or whatever. And then you check the code that is being interacted with. and then you check the code and look for like function signatures that you would call yourself, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's one idea, you know? Other than that, I don't know. Any contract with TVL. Yeah. You can have like, I don't know, a balance check for every contract that goes through. And maybe you can exclude some patterns, like if it's a standard ERC20 contract, you can ignore it. I don't know. Yeah, have some kind of minimum TVL, then manually look at it, or have other heuristics that you can add. Yeah, this is alpha finding. Okay, so this is that. Okay, where to start? This is interesting. So I think I have three possible avenues to start. Number one is fully understand a ready-made bot or framework. I think framework is good. Yeah. Framework or bot? Okay. So there's two things that come to mind, right? There are a lot of like bots that are like one-time bots, one-off bots, right? These are usually made by, let's say, protocols. If they need liquidators, for example, for their protocol, they would make this one-off bots, and they can be run readily as a reference. Yeah. There's also frameworks, that ready-made frameworks. So these are interesting in that they allow for multiple bots to be built inside, right? So I don't know if I want to make this like a ready-made bot or framework. Fully understand and use a ready-made bot or framework. Okay. Yeah, so frameworks, the most obvious one is Artemis, right? The MAV framework by Paradigm. Another one is, I forgot the name, but it was a TypeScript framework. And I should add Rust here. Yeah. Or maybe we can make it as a bullet point. Artemis, and also another one I forgot. Maybe I can look for it. It's a TypeScript. And the way it works is the same, I think, which is that these are like, I think they call it event streams. Yeah. And I do think I'm actually working on like my new framework has event streaming capabilities, which is it has event streaming capabilities. It's not a requirement though. It's not like the go-to way of doing it. Yeah, but event streams are very interesting, right? Because it allows you to mix and match strategies. Yeah, it's what the TypeScript library and Artemis supports as well. You can have like I forgot what they call, but they can you have like producers or whatever, listeners, strategy, and executors. Yeah. Okay. So this is a very common event stream, right? Listeners basically listen to everything and return it as a data structure. So you can listen to blocks, you can listen to pending transactions, you can even listen to centralized exchanges. Yeah, this is what listeners. And everything gets piped into a strategy. I believe they use PubSub. Yeah. So PubSub is publisher subscriber, which means that there can be multiple publishers that publish a specific topic and subscribers that subscribe to the topics. Yeah, there can be multiple subscribers. And so your strategy here in the middle can take multiple streams of data, like new blocks or new pending transactions or centralized exchanges. Yeah. So now what your strategy does is you look for opportunities here. Yeah. Now, once you look for opportunities, you can then send or publish an opportunity, a data that, describes an opportunity, and this can be taken by executors. So executors they try to execute your opportunity. And how do you do that is in multiple ways. So you can have an executor for mempool, you can have an executor for all the different builders and bundlers. You know, I think some builders have different schemas or structure in how they expect you to send your bundles. And you know, it can also be a centralized exchange execution. Yeah. So this is the idea behind this kind of event streaming. Yeah, it's a pub sub. And yeah, this means that you can combine strategies. I don't want to talk more into it because I believe this will be the bread and butter for most of I think every long tail, or at least like a lot of long tail, a big portion of long tail will be this way. You know, you're like linking strategies to find these deep interactions and deep hidden value that you want to extract. Okay, this is something I want to touch on here, you know? Okay, so, so this is one thing, right? Fully understand and use ready-made bots or framework. I think we should make it bot. I think we should make a framework. Why? Because even though you can understand one-off bots, like this is actually in a different category. Yeah. Where do I put this? Okay, I'll just put this here. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, fully understand and use a ready-made framework. Okay, why? Because if it's your first time doing this, you won't know what is a good framework. Like if I didn't explain this design pattern, would you have thought about it? Yeah. So this design pattern comes with the experience of being an MEV searcher, or I guess high frequency trading in general. And so, yeah, only from here you are able to know what's going on. Okay. Next point I wanted to make is, oh, excuse me. The next point I wanted to make is okay, convert a bot. Yeah. Okay, let me think. Okay, I don't know if I want to make it three separate things or this is number one. Like number one, fully understand a ready-made framework. I guess when you start, like you really do need to do this. Or maybe you don't have to actually. Yeah. Maybe you don't have to actually. Yeah. So this can be like second step or whatever. Okay, convert a bot from a different language. This is useful because then you can learn the language as well. Learn whatever language you want. Yeah. Whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. I'm just thinking that these points are not blending well correctly. There must be some kind of way to kind of bind these points together to make this section a bit more manageable, right? Ready-made framework, convert a bot from a different language. The other one I had was that start small. Yeah, I think I was going to give an example here of what a small MEV looks like. And it can be so simple, you know? It's like you're trying to arc between only two pairs. You know, that's pretty simple. You can run that. It's not going to make money, probably, but it's somewhere to start. You know, I guess it really depends on your level of experience as a programmer overall. Yeah, okay. So this is probably good. Okay. So actually, what the idea that comes to my mind is that this can be advanced, this can be intermediate, and this can be beginner. Probably, yeah. Why? Because the scope is different, right? If you look at the scope, start small. It's like, okay, just grab 2 pairs, just monitor their prices and stuff, and then convert a bot. And then once you have a hang of that, you can convert a bot from a different language. Yeah, this is what is this? Yeah, you just need to understand. This is a bigger piece of the pie, right? Usually, ready-made pots like the flash pot, simple arbitrage, they're a bit bigger, right? And the scope is bigger. Okay, so this is fine. And then after that, you can go to ready-made framework. Yeah. So the points here should be in the other order. In this order, yeah. So beginner, you start small. Intermediate, you convert a bot from a different language. And advanced, you fully understand a ready-made framework or build it yourself, I guess. You can build it yourself, build your own framework. Maybe this is or, yeah. Or build your own framework, yeah. Is it or and then? I don't know. I'm not sure. This is interesting because the thing that's in my mind right now is that do you need to try to build your own framework before you are able to understand a ready-made framework? Is what I'm saying. It's like if you haven't built your own framework like I did when I was a bit naive when I started, I don't know if I would have been able to understand the pros and cons of certain design patterns that allow me to understand like ready-made ones, you know? But it's fine, yeah. I don't think there's a framework for Go yet. I don't know if my framework is good enough or not, you know? I don't know. When I built my new framework, there is a particular commit where I've only built like example stuff, you know? Okay. Anyway, I might need to iron out this point here. Yep. Okay. There's something else that popped into my mind, which is expenses. Yeah. Okay. You're going to spend money. How do you start with no money? So I think the easiest one is run on your own PC plus free RPC. So free RPC, I believe there is a library where multiplex free RPCs. Yeah. What it does is like, let's say there's 10 different free RPCs, right? You can stagger your calls such that your first call, you do it on your first RPC, and then the second call, you do it on the second RPC. What this does is you kind of work around rate limits, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is you can actually use free RPCs are certain RPC providers give free credits. Yeah. For example, Blast.io. I use this when I was building on some chains. The free credits would allow you to run freely for months. Yeah. For every month. What I meant. Yeah, every month. So there are ways to do this. Okay. This is how to start, right? After that, you can maybe run on AWS. What was it? T3 Micro, I think, is the latest one. Yeah. So a lot of bots, if you are not running the node in the same machine, you can run the bot individually on AWS T3 Micro. That's enough. If you look at T3 Micro, I believe they have like burst credits. Burst meaning that at certain times, it can go over the limit in terms of compute and all that. So if you are doing a strategy where most of the time it's quiet and then something happens, then T3 Micro is definitely enough. Like you're not going to need like, I don't know, tens of gigabytes in RAM to store data about this. You most likely don't need databases as well. So yeah. Other than that, yeah, this is a good start. So to run 24 hours, because you might want to use your PC too, right? So you can use like something like AWS T3 Micro. It costs a small amount, like I don't want to give figures, but yeah, per month it's actually quite good. When I first started, the ratio between my expenses and my profits were way high. I think this is just my thought. I think I'm one of the most cost-effective searchers out there. Yeah, if you look at, I don't know, expenses versus profit earned. Yeah, because I really don't like run multiple nodes. I just run one. My transaction fees I use on very cheap chains. Maybe some, you know, when you look at on chain, you see like, you know, a lot of, like in Polygon, for example, they spam a lot of transactions because transaction fee is cheap, but there might be like infrastructure costs that are not shown there. But you know, you could, the searcher could be running like nodes on every like continent or something. For me personally, I just run one node for now. Like, yeah, because I work on opportunities that are not speed critical. Yeah, I mean, some are speed critical, but it's enough to get by. Like a lot of non-flashbot stuff is not winner takes all. I mean, yeah. So definitely there's money to be made, even if like it's like change from, it's like chump change from the main top competitor or top searcher on the network. Yeah. Okay, run on AWS T3 Micro. After that, you can probably move on to Hetzner nodes. Yeah, I really like Hetzner. They kind of they have been working for me very well. I was using OVH a bit, but they had a lot of maintenance as well, and there was like some issue with, I don't know, connectivity at certain points. Yeah, like just outright you can't connect to OVH server, or the OVH server didn't have internet access or whatever. Yeah, Hetzner, like right now it's a bit laggy, but I believe that's because some issues with underground cables. Yeah, so I really recommend Hetzner though. Very good. It is a bit pricey to start. I think euro. How much is a euro? Like one euro is like 6 MYR or something. Yeah. So there's some setup fee. So a setup fee of like 30 euros is like, it's like 180 ringgit. Okay. Yeah. I mean, setting up will be a bit expensive, but after that, like monthly, it's like quite low. You can start with like one node. Yeah. You can start with like one node and run everything, I think. Depends on your node requirements. Yeah. If you look at the cost, like the cost of subscribing to something like QuickNode is higher than the cost of running your own node, right? And this makes sense because QuickNode, their value add is convenience. You don't have to add your own node, or you don't have to go through the technical part of making your own node. Yeah. So it's much more cost effective to just get your own server, and just one, I guess. Maybe a beefy one. Yeah. Rather than two separate ones, you have one beefy one to start, and then just use that. Let me take a look at heads. I don't want to take a look at it now, but I probably can give some figures here. Some figures and recommended specs. Yeah. Yeah, probably this is fine. In MYR. Yeah, this gives the users a bit more context on what's going on. Transaction fee. Okay. Ideally, you start work on atomic strategies versus statistical. Yeah, what I mean by this is that if you don't have money, then you can only rely on like flash swaps, flash loans. I should put here flash loans, flash swaps. Yeah, versus statistical trust strategies. Yeah, because you don't have money to risk. Yeah, and yeah, you don't have money to risk, so just only use flash loans and flash swaps. Don't like try to, I don't know. I mean, if you don't have the money, right? If you do have the money, then sure, maybe you need just a little bit. But if you're like risking a big chunk as a beginner, I don't recommend it. You're gonna lose that. Yeah, you're gonna lose that to search your PvP. Yeah. Okay. Other than that, what other tips I can give? Probably after once you get through here, once you've done all this, then probably it's free game. Like just do whatever you want, I think. Okay, profit. Probably this is Malaysia specific, but yeah. Yeah, I probably need to set up my LLC enterprise maybe after some success. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So an enterprise or maybe sole prop, yeah. Here we call it enterprise or sole prop. This is the company that you're still personally liable to. Yeah. This is not an LLC. An LLC we call it a sendirian berhad, which means private limited. Yeah. Okay. So okay, let me think about this. Wait, is this how do I say it? Is this advice illegal? Because I'm telling them to set up after they find some success. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I shouldn't put this here at all. I'll just say verbally. Yeah. I'll just do this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah. You should set up these things. Why? Because then you can claim losses. Yeah. Yeah. You can do this. You can claim losses. Yeah. Claim expenses. Sorry. Food. Okay, I need to double check this. Okay. Food, fuel. Yeah, I believe this is the way. Yeah, because you're definitely gonna lose money, but at least you can claim that and cut that off from your taxes of your main employment. Right? Let's say. Okay. Okay. Wow, we've been going at it for like an hour plus, an hour 30. Okay. I think we're almost finished here. Yeah. Sorry, drank some water a bit. Okay. Okay. What else? Okay. I think this is it though. I don't think there's anything else here. I'm just thinking about, are there any other tips I want to give? Mostly it's examples, the PowerPoint itself. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any more idea on how what I should write here or what I should include in the presentation. That would be good. Okay, there might be like examples. I mean, questions from the audience, so I can leave some time for that. But this is very not to say technical, but yeah. Okay. Okay, I think this is it though. Okay, we actually did quite some good stuff this stream. I think I'm just gonna call it. Yeah, I'll develop this a bit more, and then probably I'll do the actual talk sometime soon. Yeah, I was planning to do this, so it's good that we did this on stream to just get it out of the way. So now that we have a base, it's easier to kind of iterate over and improve some stuff. Yeah, I can start working on this. So I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot for coming. I think this stream was pretty good. Other than that, check out my please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. For those watching in the archive as well. Thanks for watching, and I think I'll see you guys next week. Probably a new schedule tomorrow. Yeah, and then let's check it out. We'll see each other again next week. Yep. Thanks. Bye bye.